Everyone, hope your day is going great. Hope your day is going well so far. We're just trying to get Cordell in here. It looks like we're having a little bit of connection issues, but good afternoon. Hope your day is going swell so far, everyone. Happy to have you here on this podcast episode. This week, we're going to be talking about Cordell's journey in health and wellness space and some of his thoughts on what it was like after he just finished his recent competition. That was actually this past weekend. All right. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can do it, Cordell. Let's see. Time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Oh, okay. All right. It's good.
Much better.
Yes, it seems a lot smoother. Am I good? Everything's good on my end, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, just to get straight to it, in this week's episode, we have right here Cordell. I guess, why don't you just give us a bit of a background about yourself? Tell us about who you are, what you're about, which, I guess, how you got here today.
Sure. So my background, I was born and raised in the Bahamas. Came to the United States in 2001 to go to college. Went to Florida A&M University, graduated with a CIS degree. From there, I moved directly to Orlando, Florida, where I actually met you. Got started working in my field again in 2001. Got into fitness, maybe like 3-4 years after that. I ran track in high school, so I always, was into sports. I was in the gym casually, just enough to be a sprinter. But when I moved to Orlando, met some fellas, that worked out real hard religiously. I kind of teamed up with them, and I just started, living that gym life, So, that's where it initially started. But yeah, born and raised in the Bahamas, now living in Tampa, Florida, post COVID. So.
All right. A couple things. So Bahamas, I'm sure most people don't know this. My mom is a descendant from Bahamas. I wasn't born there. I was born over here in Miami, but definitely not a lot of people do know that. Bahamas and Virgin Islands. So, at least on my side. But I wanted to ask, so how long has it been now since you got into the fitness? I know you said you did a little bit of track, but I guess more specifically exercise, weightlifting, weight training. How long has it been now?
It's been about 8 years now, where I really got into it. Just reading the messages, I see, my son there. I'm with 3 amazing kids. But yeah, about 7 years now. Again, I just started off, just trying to be fit, just being in the gym. And it got to a point where I was in there almost 6-7 days a week, and then I wanted to just take it to another level. I met Anthony, I think it's Gomez. He works at Punch now.
Right.
I met him way back when, and he actually was getting ready for his first show to compete, and I happened to be, getting ready as well. So we kind of got together, kind of prepped together. I think this may have been 2016.
Wow.
We kind of helped each other along. We formed a good bond, and yeah, I mean, I didn't know much about it. I had a coach. My coach was Ty Pope, and he helped me along, with the diet. He did my numbers each week, but the gym stuff, I knew how to work out, so I worked with Anthony, and we just kind of pushed each other hard, and and I did my first show in 2016.
Wow. So it sounds like, you're saying 7-8 years almost now. It sounds like before you got into doing shows, it was a couple of years in, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So when did that, I guess, first thing, why like, what was the motivation to first even get into fitness, and then second, why compete 3 years in? I know I'm like, shoot, I know there's people that have been working out for longer than that and still haven't competed.
Yeah.
But it seems like you were so like about the gym, like you said, 6-7 days a week. That's part of your life at that moment. And it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like, how did you get there?
Just like, most things in my life, and once I'm doing it long enough, I want to take it to another level. I just want to, push the envelope, see where it takes me, see how far I can take things.
Mm,
And that's what it was. I was in there. My diet wasn't right, of course.
right.
I was, you see people in the gym every day, but if you're what you're doing outside of the gym, isn't right.
It's not gonna work out.
Exactly. So
Right.
I worked out for many years, just going in there pounding weights, but leaving there and going to Burger King and McDonald's.
Right.
You
You got
know,
the wrong fuel almost.
exactly. So, it was just trying to take it to the next level. I was like, okay, when I met Anthony, and some other guys who was competing, another guy named Tay, he's actually the first guy I saw compete.
Mm,
And I saw his transformation, what he did on stage. It was just an adrenaline rush. It was exciting,
mm,
and I said, I think I want to do this.
mm.
So I found a coach, I just got on the diet, and the diet is the hardest part.
Right.
I
Right.
think the gym is the hardest part. Is really the
Right.
diet outside of the gym.
Right.
So just wanted to take it to another level and see how far I can I can push it.
Right. You know what's crazy? What I was thinking about is like you were in fitness for a few years, couple years. This saying like you had no idea on the nutrition side. Like it was almost like beginner on the nutrition side. You're killing the weights. It's almost like that seems like the level. It's like the level that will change you from you being a pro or even getting on the stage to you just being a regular gym fanatic. It's like a coach. It's like,
Correct.
okay, the coach will take you to the next level, and it won't be easy, but it's like there's like a piece of information that you didn't have when you're doing those 3 years just going to the gym, having fun, eating Burger King. That coach really like helped your physique in a way. So it's like I find it like I find it crazy in a way because I don't know anyone that would be like, oh, I can compete without a coach,
Yeah.
which is actually like it's crazy to think about it because you getting the nutrition right, you had to do that regardless if you had a coach or not.
Correct.
So it's just like it's just crazy because like you said, it's like some people go like continuously and not know that hey, like your nutrition's gonna be the main determining factor on how you look and how you feel. So
Exactly. Yeah.
let's speaking about or we go. It looks like you were about to say something.
No, no. I'm just saying, like you said, you and yourself, I see, I met you in the gym, so you see folks in the gym every day, and you know, their body looks the same,
Yeah.
and it isn't what they're doing in the gym; it's what they're doing outside the gym,
Mhm.
So it's something you learn in the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like funny because I like to throw myself in that category, like for in the beginning stages, like just doing what I know, lifting weights. And it's funny because when you're naturally or when you're skinny or
Hmm.
when you don't work out and you start working out, you're gonna get results. So people
Yeah.
are like, wow, look at the results. And then you get those results are really gonna stay the same if the diet doesn't change. So it's like you get so comfortable in the results that you got then that you don't even you forget about the diet until like you're 5 years in and you like you said you still look the
Exactly.
same. uh,
Exactly.
but so speaking of how you feel, like at least do you notice like a difference in how you felt before when you were working out with your eating being the way it was and now?
Yeah, it's night and day. Your energy level is different. How you feel after workouts is different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, even now, if I go and, if I have some drinks the night before, go out on a Friday night and try going to the gym Saturday morning,
Mm-hmm.
the workout isn't the same.
Right.
The energy levels aren't there. I think you're actually hurting yourself more. You're so dehydrated. Alcohol has your muscles so dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, when my diet wasn't right, yeah, I mean, I was, eating burgers and pizza. My carbs were high. I can go in there and I can really push some weight,
Right.
but as soon as you clean up your diet, you can't lift the whole gym anymore, but your physique changes,
Right. Right.
some people wanna be that guy lifting, you know, 3, 4 plates on the bench, and
Mm.
some people wanna have that, that physique, from working out, and
Right.
and like I said, with the diet, comes the total package of physique. You can still lift heavy, eventually, but now you have the physique on the body, or
Right.
the results as well.
Right. So you made a great point. Once you start changing up your eating, that's when your physique really starts to come out, right? And I notice that happens like during the competition prep as well. Um, when you're 8 weeks out, or let's say, I know these are all numbers, but say 12 weeks out, and the difference between 3 weeks out, the eating of what you consumed has gone down a lot in calories. So your body does look a lot better than it probably did 12 weeks out. But how does it feel mentally? Is it like an ego trip that you're like, dang, I'm not lifting the same weight? I get fairly irritated a little bit more quicker.
You hit the nail on the head. You don't, yeah, 12 weeks out, even 8 weeks out, 6 weeks out, your carbs are still decent. You're doing your cardio, you still can function. But when you
Mm-hmm.
get to that 3 weeks, that 3 week mark, when you're really trying to get changes and you drop your cardio, you drop your carbs and you up your cardio,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing 30 minutes fasted, 30 minutes, in the evening after workouts, sometimes 40 and 40, and you're on, say, 50 grams of carbs a day. As you say, you can mentally function. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, I always, tell about it too. I'm at work trying to, trying to function and trying to listen on meetings, but you just don't have the mental focus, the energy to work, and that's the hard part about it. Trying to do these preps and still trying to do a 9 to 5 job. You
Right.
know, I, I work from home, which is a good thing. Sometimes I can take a break during the day and lay down and rest. But
Mm-hmm.
if I had to go in the office, on 50 grams of carbs, 25 grams of carbs, it would be a nightmare.
Right.
So, so yeah, it's you definitely the dropping the carbs, you definitely see the change, and like you said, you see your body changes from 12 weeks to 8 weeks to 6 weeks to 3 weeks. Even those last 2 weeks,
Yeah. Crucial.
that's when you see the most changes. Your
Right.
body changes like that. You see abs you haven't seen before. 1 or 2 more abs pop up.
Right.
Some veins coming out to your arms. Like
Right.
it's cool. It's a good side to it and it's a bad side. I mean, and, I don't think that your body isn't meant to
Do that.
work at that level or be at a level too long.
Right.
When you're 1 week out and you're so deprived of nutrition and carbs and stuff, your body's at a deficit, a crazy deficit.
Right.
And it isn't meant to be
Right.
like operated at at too long of a time. So
Right.
um,
Two things. So you mentioned like it's not meant to do that. So I'm assuming the workout intensity also goes down when you're on like 2 weeks, 1 week out, right?
drastically. You don't have the energy to go on the 225 on the bench, or squat 2-3 plates like that. You're
Right.
just trying to at that level too. I mean, at that time frame, 2-3 weeks out, you're just trying to maintain. You're trying to get blood flow. You're trying to just go in there and get a pump, get the blood circulating through your muscles.
Mm.
So when you get on stage and you do carb up, that you have that good blood circulation, a good blood flows. So that, you immediately get a good pump, and that it's all about just keeping the blood flow.
Right.
At that stage, you're not building any new muscle.
Right.
You can't have 25 grams of carb a day, so
Yeah.
that's about, conditioning them.
Right. Man, that's insane. It's the one of the parts I was thinking about is what you mentioned, that level of it's weird. It's like the level of strain that's almost on your body at that point. It wouldn't make sense to go the same intensity you would with more maybe carbs that you had weeks out or 12 weeks out. So for that instance, like the fact that you were so low in carbs, you notice how big of an impact nutrition makes on how your body changes. It's like it don't even matter what you doing, like as you don't even have to work out as hard as you used to, because that's not the main point, is making sure you're good with the food wise and you can even make it to the show mentally. So before you even started competing, did anyone tell you about the mental aspect involved in it?
No, no, and a lot of people don't find that out until they actually do a prep.
Yeah.
It's the end product is beautiful,
Right.
but and the journey is beautiful until you get to those 4 weeks out.
Right. Right.
4 weeks out, it gets hard. It gets hard on you. It gets hard on your family. It gets
Mm-hmm.
hard on your job. It takes a lot from you mentally.
Right.
And like you said, even in the gym, you're running off a fume. So, usually I go in there with a whole lot of pre-workout, a whole lot of caffeine, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what keeps me going in the gym at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have the carbs, I'm not, my fats are low. I don't have any energy from nutrition, from food. So it's just a whole lot of carbs,
seems like your son knows.
Yeah.
Man, so I guess coming from that perspective of your son, right? Would you say, so it seems like there's a lot of sacrifice. Like, what is keeping you sane in knowing that, okay, I'm okay with this sacrifice? Like, what's the end product? What's the point? Like, what is going through your mind? Like, hey, I just got to get on stage. Like, I got to get on stage to make people a little bit more patient with me, or what is it?
You make a good point. You, at some point, with all competitors, you balance, what this takes from you and what does it give to you.
Right.
And to be honest, and I know some competitors could agree with me, it definitely takes more than it gives.
Mm.
You go through this crap. You do so much cardio. You operate at a deficit for so long.
Mm.
For that 20 seconds on a stage, and you get on stage and you have judges, judging you at 20. They don't know the work you've put in.
No.
The stress, the work you put in, and that 20 seconds, they're telling you if you're good enough or not. And I've seen where that has mentally messed up some people as well. You literally you say, hey, look at me, judge me. So it's a rewarding sport, but it also messes with your mental too,
Right.
because you put in so much work, then to not be enough. It's hard after you go on stage and you get fifth or sixth. And I think Anthony can tell you the same thing. Some of the the limitless guys can tell you the same thing. It's hard on your mental afterwards. So you have to weigh at times, does this worth it? Does getting to because this is my last show was my six or seven show.
Wow.
And you have to kind of weigh, hey, in my life, is this something I want to be doing? Is the reward worth it? And the more I do it, the less rewarding it's getting for me. Just because of where I'm at in my life right now and what I want to be doing. So it's you meet some competitors and then you're like, hey, I love this. I'm prepping for my next show right out, show after show after show,
Mm-hmm.
but it really depends on where you're at in life and what else you have going on outside of the gym.
Right. I want to add a couple of things. It makes me think about like, and I don't know how old you are, but you're. It's. I can imagine like in comparison to how kids and girls like they do pageant shows.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine what's that like on their mentals if you're going through the struggle of trained nutrition, but you still got to get judged.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now let's okay, let's upgrade to models, maybe a little bit older. The swimsuit models is like, okay, it's all for that like you said, those 20 seconds or however long you're going to be on stage. And it's like I didn't think about it like that, but you have to weigh whether it's worth it or not. And I can see how probably obviously as you take on more in your life and more, maybe your time becomes a little bit more limited than it is today in terms of obviously you never know where you're going to go, but in terms of how age and things like that works, it's almost like you have to question like, hey, what is more worth it to put my energy and sacrifice right now with the time that you almost have here. And I never thought about it in that way, but it's like, oh, you have to, because you're like, dang, you sacrificing a lot. And luckily there are things that work in your best interest. I'm not saying things aren't crazy in your personal life, but it's like, okay, the foundation is it's more solid around my family that I can do this, rather than it seems very like, oh, this is all about me. And however you guys feel doesn't really matter. But it seems like there must be a solid foundation if you're able to do this and still have a family.
Yeah, it definitely. So you asked how old I am. So I'm in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So my priorities are much different from someone younger, 20s doing this. So when it starts to take away from life itself, like you said, you don't know how much time you have on this earth. You know, so when you're doing something like this and it affects your family, your work, your daily life and how you function, you kind of weigh that against the rewards of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I've done 6, 7 shows, on the local level, 2 on the national level. I've always, on the local level, I've always got first or second. But when you go on the national level, it's much harder. I was my first national show. I was one position away, got second from getting my pro card.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to this show 2 weeks ago. I was like 6 or 7. So it's so mentally hard on you,
Right.
and so you weigh that. I say, hey, is this worth still doing? Should I be done, and should I just enjoy working out, enjoy
Right.
the fun of being in the gym again, and
Right.
versus this competitive stuff. I'm still struggling with that. So.
Right. And Shanika, right, she made a great point. Yeah, it is a personal journey. We have to do that everywhere in life, and realize the judgment that is going to come from everywhere. Are you worthy of getting this position? Or people's expectations of you in general. Hey, is what I did okay? Is it okay with me first? But I have a question. So you said as you do more and more, you said it looks like it's taking more than it's giving you. What is it taking more of, and what is it giving you less?
just like you said, you put so much into these prep, and that's what a lot of people don't see. They see the finished product,
Mm-hmm.
but that 12-week, you see that 12-week prep, you coming down, to the 10th week, the 8th week. Like you say, you have a little less patience, you have a little less of everything,
Right.
and if you have a family, or have a girlfriend, whatever you have, they're gonna see it. It's gonna affect their life as well.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't operate the way you operate, um, you know, just on full carbs, you're eating, just eating regular meals every day.
Mm.
And, and it affects your family to an extent. You don't interact the same way. You just don't have the energy to be the same person that you usually are.
Right.
Then I say, at the end of the day, it depends on which level you're doing it at. You're doing it for, essentially a $15 trophy.
Yeah.
Um, hey, look at me, and that's what you get at the end of the day when you put in so much money in food, so much money in supplements, so much money in coaching.
Mm.
So you have to weigh what's more important to you as you keep doing this.
Right.
What you put into it financially, personally, weigh what you get out of it at the end of the day.
Right. So would you say, and I can say I definitely wanted to at first. And I wasn't against it. There was like, I think a time after a little bit in quarantine, I reevaluated like what I wanted to prioritize. And I know I was going to gain a lot of satisfaction at the end product, but I know it was like temporary satisfaction. Right. So I'm wondering for you, like over time, is it like the more shows you do, you're getting less satisfied with the result?
The results, you're always happy with the results. I mean,
Right.
you're always happy with how you look. If you do the prep right,
Right, of
and you
course.
stick to the prep, you're always happy with the results. Is the results good enough to win, or is the result good enough for a judge to say, hey, you're the best thing on the stage that day? Maybe yes or no. But the transformation is always satisfying.
Right.
To have a 6-pack and 8-pack is always satisfying. But like you said, that is still temporary. I mean, as soon as you start eating a little bit, enjoying
More.
life a little bit,
Yeah.
you watch all of that work kind of wash away.
Right.
And it took you 12 weeks to get it,
It
and it
takes
only
you a
takes
few
you
days.
a couple of days, a week or so for those to start to wash away. All that work to start to wash away. And that's a mental thing too. And I think, I think females, feel it more. And I've spoken and had some friends that go through some crazy withdrawals to see how that body changes back so quickly, and
Right.
and they put on the weight again, or get not really weight, but they get kind of fluffy,
Right. It's like
it's hard.
I've heard eating disorders coming from that too, or like
Yep.
temporary, maybe temporary, but like at that time, just a
Mm-hmm.
lot of binge eating.
Yeah, I mean, you crave so much on these preps, things that you don't even eat. you crave, it's because you can't have it,
Right.
and so soon as you're done, you want to try to you want to hit everything,
Right.
and if you don't, if there's something called a reverse diet,
Mm.
and that's key to when you come up for prep, and
Right.
basically
Okay.
yeah, and
You eat
basically
back into how you normally ate.
yeah, what you were eating on the prep, you kind of eat the same thing, but you eat more of it. So instead
Okay.
of eating, you know, 3 ounces of protein and 25 grams of carb, now you eat 8 ounces of protein and maybe 150 grams of carb. So
Right.
you're still eating clean, but you're eating more. So you fill out slowly and you fill out with
Properly. Right.
yeah. But if you go for the pizza every day and the burgers every day, you're gonna blow. You will blow right up.
Right.
And it's it's kind of disappointing to see how quickly your body can change.
Right. It seems like there's almost like a coaching process from the 12 weeks out to now reverse diet in a way.
Yeah, and a lot of competitors don't
Don't do
reverse
that.
diet.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, we have a few more questions. I know that we wanted to get to, but for that specifically, maybe I probably lost my thought. Whatever. So I wanted to ask for competition. What has this helped? Like, how has this benefited you in life? Like maybe areas of values, maybe discipline and things like that. What are some main ones that you take away that help you in your day to day?
Yeah, it definitely helps with discipline. I've met a lot of people, when I tell them what I have to do on a prep, they tell me right away, I could never do that. I could never do it. You know, the diet, staying away from alcohol, staying away from sweets, just being disciplined and like you said, just for a personal goal,
Right.
it's so it definitely teaches you discipline, and I think discipline helps build character. Um, it definitely teaches you how to work hard, to
Hmm.
push for something that you really want. In those last 3 weeks when you running off of fumes, but you gotta go do 45 minutes of cardio, you know, it helps you get mentally strong.
Right.
You know, you're able to push, push, push. So in life, when you face, things again, things that are hard, you kind of draw back on that, or it's automatic now. I can deal with this,
Right.
because you
I've
pushed
already dealt with some
yourself.
harder. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Has this,
you definitely get something from it.
has this been the most challenging thing that you've had to go through in your life?
As far as doing something that I didn't have to do,
Hmm.
like voluntarily,
Voluntarily. Yeah.
voluntarily, you know, you know, depriving myself of stuff, for a goal that's not just essentially just for me.
Hmm.
It's not going to change, the price of tea in China.
Right.
It's just something that I want to do. Yes,
Personal
but
goal. Yeah.
so yes, from that point of view, yeah, it's preps are hard. What you put yourself through is hard. And so let me caveat. I mean, I've been making this competition and prep thing seem so awful.
No, 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 of
you know,
course,
it,
of
it,
course.
it's fun. It's a great thing. You know, some competitors I know live for this.
Hmm.
Again, it's fun, and you get an adrenaline rush when you go on stage. You put in all that work, and you go on stage, and the lights are in your face, and you're just so, you're happy to be there, and you want to, show the judges
What you
that you've
worked
been
on.
working hard. So
Right.
it's a love hate relationship,
Hmm.
and like you said, you thought about it post COVID. You know, I would say if you're in the gym as much as I know you were, you know,
It would make sense too.
try it.
Yeah.
Try it. Like you said, even if you do, I know people who've done it once, and they say this isn't for me.
Right.
So it's something to try. You may fall in love with it. I have people who did it once said they won't do it again, but now I see them on prep.
Right. Right.
So it's
I'm
it
with you.
teaches you a lot. It teaches you a
I'm with
lot.
you. I'm with you. Even though you did like, obviously we're highlighting some of those because I don't think those are talked about it as much.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't want to make it seem, obviously to each his own, right? And what you said, I agree with. If you are in the gym more than, I would say, like 6 7 days or around 6 7 days, it would behoove you to think about doing that, since that's probably the energy it's going to take to do a competition, right? And if you are focused on your nutrition, that's some of the same energy that you're going to apply to a competition. So to have that joy in doing that, it would make sense. I feel like the same person who like could work out 6 7 days would surely like to do that,
Mm-hmm.
since they are both. I think they're both similar, to each other and take similar like discipline and mental energy. But I guess for that point, uh, you said this is the hardest or most challenging thing you had to do voluntarily.
Yeah.
What was involuntary?
Well, some stuff at work,
Right.
just I'm in the tech field, like you feel cloud computing, so some certifications I had to take just to keep my job, you
Right.
know, yeah, they were tough,
Oh
um,
wow.
stuff like that, and family, that's not voluntary. You gotta do family stuff, and some stuff, it gets hard, and it's always, it's a constant,
Yeah, work on.
working on it. So
Right.
those stuff that I had to do, and and they were hard, but it's all worth it in the end.
I'm with you. As long
Yeah,
as it's not harder than, you know, that. So I think it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
Definitely not going against family as being something that isn't hard, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something that you have to take responsibility for versus something you want to take responsibility for. I mean, I feel like differentiating the two makes sense. So one of the last, I'll say, big questions that we like to end these episodes off with is, when you envision the best version of Cordell, what does that look like?
Good question. The best version of me is just being a great husband, a great dad, a great individual. Doing the best I can, at my day-to-day jobs, family-wise, career-wise, and just trying to be impactful to the people around me. I can say this fitness stuff has rubbed off to a few people I've interacted with. They truly say they got into this because of me. So just being a positive, influence to the people around you. I think that's probably the most you can ask for.
So nice. I like it. Love it. Love the answer, man.
Cool.
Well, it was awesome having you on here. Can't wait to have you again. Definitely, definitely. We got all the bad stuff out the way with competition. So anyone that is still interested,
right?
Go ahead and message Cordell to tell you the positive. And we did have someone on here in the past. Juan. He discussed like some of the fun things about it, some things that he gained from it. But I really want to get yours because you've been in it longer than, I guess, any guest we've had on here. And I definitely, once you said Anthony, I was like, oh, I know Anthony, not on a personal level, but I know of him, and I could definitely say he takes that very serious. So, and I can imagine you do the same. But again, I appreciate you getting on here and talking on a Saturday, taking your time, talking in front of your family and your son. 6-pack Corona. He seems like a funny guy. But I appreciate you, Cordell, and I hope everyone who's watching, you go ahead and think about that question as well. What does the best version of you look like, and what are you doing today to constantly work towards that? Because that, I feel like, that's the overall goal in life, is just keep on working to who we want to be, and keep on doing that. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. Cordell, was there anything else you wanted to leave off for the people?
Just appreciate you having me on. Like I said, everyone just try every day to be the best version of yourself. There's so much going on in the world right now. We just need positive people that's willing to, accept change, good change, and just be beacons for the people around them.
All right. That's us 100%. It's like there's not enough positivity going around. Definitely want to shout out merchandise. I'm just kidding. Hey! You guys can check it out in the bio. If you have any questions for Cordell around competition prep, anything with fitness, is it okay that people reach out to you?
Most definitely.
Not saying 100% they will, but if they, anyone does watching, like, he is free to reach out to you on competition prep topics, fitness, whatever. And I hope you. Honestly, I'm like, man, I miss the parties and stuff like that. We did take a break on that, but COVID was a big influence of that as well. But it was nice talking to you, Cordell. I appreciate you having me on here again and sharing this stuff with us. There's definitely a lot of value. I've learned a little bit just listening about this. But I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a great day, Cordell. Everyone watching, I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.